In the world of the unseen, one of the most mysterious and feared figures is Iblis, also known as Shaitan. He is the sworn enemy of mankind, who vowed to mislead humans until the day of judgment. But have you ever wondered, does Iblis have a wife? And if so, how many children does he have? These questions spark curiosity and are often surrounded by myths, weak narrations, and ancient interpretations. While the Qur'an and authentic Hadith remain silent on some of these details, Islamic scholars and classical texts have offered various insights, some symbolic, some literal. Let's dive into the mysterious world of Iblis's family and uncover what Islam truly says, and what it doesn't. Who is the wife of Iblis? How many children does Shaitan have each day? In the vast and mysterious realm of the unseen, al-Ghaib, few figures are as infamous as Iblis, the archenemy of humankind. Known as Shaitan, Satan, Iblis plays a central role in the Islamic narrative of temptation, sin, and misguidance. He is the one who refused to bow to Adam, as, and was cast out of divine mercy due to his arrogance. But beyond his rebellious nature, people often ask, does Iblis have a wife? Does he have children? How many offspring does he create every day to spread evil across the world? These are not just idle curiosities, they touch on deeper themes of how evil operates in the world and how it multiplies. While the Qur'an and authentic Hadith do not provide detailed descriptions of Iblis's family structure, scholars over the centuries have explored these questions using interpretations, allegorical explanations, and occasionally, weak or non-Islamic sources. In this article, we'll explore both authentic Islamic teachings and classical commentary to understand this intriguing topic. Who is Iblis? Before delving into his wife or children, it's important to recall who Iblis is. According to the Qur'an, he was one of the jinn, and he disobeyed the command of his Lord. Surah Al-Kahf. Iblis was a devout worshipper among the jinn but was cast out of Allah's mercy when he refused to prostrate to Prophet Adam. Unlike angels, jinn possess free will, and Iblis used his to disobey Allah out of arrogance. Does Iblis have a wife? The Qur'an is silent. The Qur'an does not mention a wife of Iblis. Nowhere is there a verse that speaks about her name, existence, or role. This silence suggests that it is not a matter of importance in our guidance or belief. Scholarly opinions. Some early scholars speculated about how Iblis could have children. For example, Imam al-Qurtubi in his tafsir stated, "It is possible that Allah created a female jinn from whom he had offspring, or that Allah gave him the ability to reproduce without a mate." Imam Ibn Kathir hinted that the matter of Iblis's children and wife is from the unseen, Ghaib, and that trying to investigate it too deeply without revelation is unnecessary. Israeliyat sources. Some stories about Iblis's wife come from Israeliyat, narratives borrowed from Jewish and Christian traditions. Islamic scholars like Ibn Kathir often reported them only for information, but warned against accepting them as truth unless confirmed by Qur'an or authentic Hadith. How does Iblis reproduce? The question of Iblis's reproduction is closely tied to how jinn, in general, reproduce. The Qur'an states, "And he created the jinn from a smokeless flame of fire." Surah Ar-Rahman. Just like humans, jinn also marry and have children. This is supported by Islamic tradition. Therefore, it is not far-fetched that Iblis, being from the jinn, has offspring. Whether this happened through a mate or through another method known only to Allah, is not confirmed. Some scholars have theorized Iblis may have been created with the ability to clone or reproduce himself. His reproduction may not be biological but spiritual or symbolic, producing devils by corrupting others. Does Iblis have children? Yes, he does. While the Qur'an and Hadith don't give an exact number, they confirm that Iblis has offspring. Will you then take him, Iblis, and his offspring as protectors besides me while they are enemies to you? Surah Al-Kahf. This verse directly mentions his progeny, confirming that Iblis has children. How many children does Shaitan have each day? No authentic number. There is no authentic hadith or verse that gives a specific number of how many children Iblis produces daily. Claims that he gives birth to 30 or 70 children every day are found in weak narrations and in non-Islamic stories. These kinds of numbers may have originated from attempts to explain the abundance of evil in the world, symbolizing the multiplying nature of Shaitan's influence. What we know from authentic Hadith. Even though we don't have exact numbers, the Prophet Muhammad gave us descriptions of how Shaitan operates, often through his offspring or agents. Shaitan's throne and his troops. Iblis places his throne upon the water, and he sends his troops. The nearest to him in status are those who cause the most mischief. One of them comes and says, "I did such and such," and he, Iblis, says, "You have done nothing." Then one comes and says, "I did not leave him until I separated him and his wife." Iblis says, "You have done well," and he embraces him. Sahih Muslim. Specific devils for specific tasks. Scholars have mentioned names of Shaitan's children based on narrations, though not all are authentic. Khanzab distracts people during prayer. Dasim enters homes without saying Bismillah. Awar tempts people towards zina, fornication. Zalmabur promotes conflict in markets. Thabur encourages despair during tragedies. While these names appear in some Islamic books, they are not from Sahih Hadith but from early scholars or narrators with weak chains. They serve more as lessons on how Shaitan may influence different parts of our lives. Why does it matter? Understanding Iblis's offspring isn't about curiosity, it's about recognizing how widespread his influence is. He doesn't work alone. Whether through actual children, spiritual followers, or evil jinn, Shaitan's army is constantly working to mislead humans. The Qur'an warns us. Indeed, Satan is an enemy to you, so take him as an enemy. Surah Fatir. How to protect ourselves. Whether Iblis has 10 children or 10,000, the real question is, are we protected? The Prophet Muhammad taught us many ways to shield ourselves. 1. Saying Bismillah before entering home, eating, and dressing. 2. Praying regularly, especially Fajr and Maghrib. 3. Reciting Qur'an, Surah Al-Baqarah drives Shaitan away from the home. 4. Seeking refuge, with A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytanir rajim. 5. Avoiding sin, as sin strengthens his hold. The wife of Iblis and the number of his children remain part of the unseen world, al-Ghaib, about which Allah and his messenger told us only what we need to know. What's clear is that Iblis has offspring, and they are actively involved in misleading mankind. The exact nature of his reproduction or the number of his daily births is not authentically known and often based on weak or symbolic narrations. Rather than focusing on speculation, the key lesson is to recognize Iblis as our clear enemy and to take active steps to protect ourselves from his traps. The fight against Shaitan isn't about numbers, it's about awareness, taqwa, God consciousness, and obedience to Allah.